No.
All right, that's cool.
Do you have the sound?
Where is YouTube?
Can you feel the love tonight?
Feel the
This is an
rhythm. Feel
ASMR
the rhyme.
brochure.
Ooh.
Come on now, it's bobsled time.
God, or no.
Yes, no, maybe.
I'm trying to get there.
Ooh,
Hold on.
we just want to know if we got some sound.
Oh yeah, we're good. We're
Sounds
good.
great.
Sound is there.
Loud and clear.
Not what I wanted. What I wanted. I got to pick the right things. One of these days I'll do it. I had to get interesting and unique to make us all fit.
I like this.
So
I'll take it.
we all fit nicely now.
That's a great shot of me.
I got that top flight right in the middle there. Oh, I had to like cycle through things. Oh, you don't get to see yourself. Remember, you got to look at the online thing. I have you positioned well and movable. You might
Yeah.
move some during
There you
during the actual broadcast a little bit. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Ooh, we had a subscriber from 3 months ago, Edward Allen. I always look at the mini feed and laugh at that because I'm like, really? People actually like. You can see when someone subscribes. Ooh, Pond 770 is a subscriber.
I do.
Dude.
Hey.
I dude from 9 months ago.
Shout out.
Raptor Goku 99. I mean, none of these people have, clicked the bell or anything like that, probably. So they're not receiving notifications when everything goes off. But we're here. We're not what I was going to say on the other thing after that. But you know what? We're here. Oh, gotta have a good one. Gotta have a little comedy. This is not your typical IT guys. Usually we do the rundowns the last two episodes, including this one, the last one, and now this one. We kind of threw the rundown out for the opportunity to just discuss things. Modern World Congress, not modern. What is it? Mobile World Congress.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
Just occurred. So the episode that I kind of have titled out today for us is dealing more with a modern World Congress for that kind of setup. We aren't going to talk politics unless we really just feel like bold and want to truly make our viewership drop off the cliff. We love our viewers, but we also know that you guys don't want to hear about that kind of crap, because politics be politics. The only thing good that's come out of politics in the last 5 years is the fact that we actually have them spending money on putting people to build factories in the U.S. Like Intel, because we like our American made chips. Apparently,
Facts.
we don't like it when our lathes are made overseas.
Plays.
Yeah, hey, I mean, those are still chips. They're just a different kind of chip.
that took a minute to get.
Sour cream and
potato.
chives.
Yeah, we're not sponsored by Zaxby's, but damn it, y'all, if you never had it, you need to get some. Chance is like, I'm trying to get it there. I'm trying to get it there. I'm trying to get it there. Block my face out. We do have a new contact with us, a new guy. His name is Chance. He's gonna be around the block a time or two.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a Twitter or an Instagram or anything like that. If he does, go find it and then tell us about it because we'd love to know. We want y'all to do some of the work too. We're not doing it all for you, damn it. But Mobile World Congress did come out. I mean, there is a lot to talk about. A lot has happened in the recent weeks. And we talked about it last time. Intel launched its Core Ultra line. Intel's got Raptor Lake chips out there. There's the new. I mean, it's all but confirmed the new golden sample versions of the 14900K, the KS version that's got a 6.2 gigahertz unlocked process set up. Good
Tasty.
for them. That's a great boost clock, but it's gonna roast potato chips, to go back to it pretty damn well. It's kind of how we roll, kind of how things happen.
Barbecue flavor.
Ooh, barbecue sauce. That's right. Yeah, that's a good Ted Lasso quote. Barbecue sauce does the dang thing, hits it. Gotta love it. But yes, so we're having a intriguing little conversation today. Like I said, just rambling around. Probably for about another 55 minutes. If anybody decides to join in and wants to write a comment or a question or something like that in the chat, guess what? We might actually reply to it today.
Ooh,
You know why? Because we don't have anything else to talk about but to talk to you guys if you join in. Ooh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go share that we're live.
That's a good idea.
I think we
Smart.
should. I think we should do it.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's
Haven't
go.
done
Let's
that in
go.
a
Grab
while.
the link. We don't do it often enough. Join
No,
in.
we don't.
Ooh, you know what I'm gonna do?
Okay.
I'm gonna go share that we're live. I heard myself
Yeah.
saying that live.
I
the
heard
other
you
day.
hearing
It's
yourself.
It's weird.
I like that reaction.
I think Linus Tactics needs to quit talking about things that don't make sense and putting clickbaity. Your internet is too fast. Bullshit. My internet's never fast enough. Never in 1,000 Sundays is my internet fast enough. Linus, quit being clickbaity. Go into the LinkedIn. Actually, I'll go to Facebook first. Putting the post up. Paste.
Nice. One out of the couple hundred platforms.
Bam. Sharing it. And then now I'm going to go to LinkedIn and share it there. Because if I don't,
Nice.
how will anyone know that we were live? Post. Continue.
Cute little noise.
Now I'm posting it on the Not Your Typical IT Guys page. I mean, I have more followers in a lot of places. But hey, now people could possibly come and watch us. Not ourselves. It'll be interesting. We shall see. Who knows what's going to happen? What I do know is, man, I got a lot of gray hairs right here going on, guys. I tell you what, I'm getting old as shit. I feel it sometimes. I say I feel old, and then I look in the background of the window of what we're doing right now, and I go, there's a bunch of freaking toys there. I am a child. I am a child.
Old child?
Why does everyone say Ultron?
No, old child. No.
Oh,
but
I thought you
that's
said Ultron. I was about to be mad at you. That is not Ultron. That is
old
not Voltron.
child.
That is
so sorry.
If you don't know what those two things are, just don't even talk to me. Just get off it. Get off. Sleep. I kid. Oh, but I want to go back up here because I want to start this out so I can go get us to the Mobile World Congress stuff because there was a lot of news. Like I said, I've kind of been following along with it. A lot of new laptops have come out, and that's kind of cool. The biggest conversational piece I think we're going to talk about today, and this is going to make you laugh when I say it, is ARM's real entry into the PC market finally. So that's kind of huge. Also, and we'll start with this. So this is a story that I had that I had been kind of looking at, and I'll go ahead and tell you, it's right off Tom's Hardware. It's right off the main page. It's pretty new. It's actually from 10 hours ago. You and I talked about this
we just talked
yesterday.
about this.
Chance and I were having this conversation yesterday.
We'll put it on the feed,
I
on the image.
I will put it in here. Yeah, I'm getting ready to put it on the image, but I'm actually going to copy it and put it in the chat. So if you want to get to it,
Oh
you
yeah.
can too. Open up the chat and drag you over a little bit so I recenter you. And paste it. That way, if you want to look at it too alongside us, you can. Because I want you to be able to do that, Chris. I want you to look alongside us. And now
Why did it pull up in? Why did it pull up in Edge? What?
No one
Oh
likes
no.
Edge. Please get out of
What?
Edge.
What is going on?
Unedge yourself. Edge out.
What in Coplink? God.
Yeah, try again, man. That's
Okay,
pretty
now
good.
I'm in Chrome. Jesus. Now I got a pop up.
Now you got a pop up. Nobody needs a pop up. So the last benchmark they say was so the FCC basically quadrupled what the definition for broadband is. For basic broadband, let me rephrase. And what's funny is they set the upload standard as what most primary upload standards are. You know what's funny? I say it this way. Have you ever tried out like that Verizon home internet stuff? Or like saw the ads and whatnot?
Yeah.
If you haven't seen the ads, I'm talking about it enough right now. The Verizon home internet. I'm going to say Verizon home internet standards. So Verizon home, so that's now all over your Facebook feed, Chris. Now you're going to see it about 1,000 times a day. But I bring that one up because
Womp womp.
I've got one of those little boxes here. I use it as a backup for myself. And I have another one that I take for travel because it's $25 a month. All right. For most of y'all that think $25 a month for internet service, that's pretty cheap.
Absolutely.
Where I am currently sitting and located, it beats the upload speed of my cable internet, which I have a gigabit package. Now it's only about 10 megabytes in megabit per second at 50 versus my cable being roughly 40 all the time. But they upped the standard to what the basic cable standards are, and actually, comically, what those Verizon Home 5G standards are, and T-Mobile's Home 2 standards are, which is the standard that they claim is if you have that the 20 well it's $35 a month if you're not but if you pay auto pay it's why can't I think it's $10 discount, so it's $25 a month.
Not bad.
And at the $35 a month package with $25 a month, get about 300 to 400 down, which, you know, if you were paying for basic internet at 300 to 400 at $25 a month, that's better than most. Most basic cable internet packages are like 110 for like $40 a month.
Yeah.
For cable.
Yeah.
Fiber, it's obviously asynchronous, so whatever you're paying down, you're getting up. So if you're getting 100 down, you're getting 100 up.
Or it should be.
I wish everything was that way, but the way the frequency bands work over cable internet, it's not exactly that flush.
Right.
Shockingly. I am going to do something that's going to blow your mind. Don't be afraid. Now we can actually hear ourselves talking to each other in our ears.
Nice.
Since we're sharing a headset, we couldn't hear each other. Like we're blocking our ear blocks. I was not hearing him talk very much, so I had to bump him in the actual board. Doesn't change anything online. Just so everybody knows. But I wanted to be able to hear my buddy. All right,
Thanks.
so this is a comical little piece I think that I'm going to show off, and we're going to talk about a little bit. But it's basically the FCC's finally doing something good. You know, outside of some of the standards for net neutrality and things like that should always be passed and should have been passed a long time ago, I'm all for. Setting the standard in 2015 of 25 down and 3 up was pretty good. That was a pretty good bump. Now we've re-benchmarked it, and we're saying, okie dokie, we're gonna go with, you know, a solid. We're gonna change our benchmark and kind of up it to something a little different now. I'm all for it. All for it.
It's been a long time coming, you know.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And the increased speed was kind of necessary, man. I mean, that's almost 10 years ago now.
Exactly.
2025 is right around the corner, almost there. But that was a good one, I thought. So that's you know, part one to the lovely story. We got some change in. We got some solid updates, solid moves. We gotta love the solid updates and the solid moves by any government body. If it's a good thing, we like it. What you logging into your internet status over here for? Trying to make some changes. Trying to see if you can get that update to that 110.
Now I
120.
need the high speed that they're talking about. No, I definitely have. Oh,
I can't hear Chance.
oh, I hear. Oh no, what happened?
Let me see what I can do to fix that then.
I wonder. Hey, sound any
Let
better?
me go check something out here.
Yeah.
I can figure this out. Hit that universal audio. Should be bringing both channels 1 and 2 to you.
There we go. You hear me now?
All right. Let me
Hello, hello. Hello, hello.
Audio settings.
Hey, is that any better? Aha! I like.
Nothing. I literally did absolutely nothing.
Well then,
Talk,
Okay.
talk.
is that better now?
Nope. Can't
Oh.
hear you.
What?
Nope.
Is my going out?
Nope.
Nope.
Try it now.
Hey, is that better?
What? Yeah. Okay,
Oh.
good now.
All right. Well,
I turned my noise suppression off because I don't really need it on
oh,
anyways.
okay. Well,
It'll work fine. I could actually change it to like the Instalink microphone or something like that and just use room audio for him. We'll talk about this all the time whenever we're doing these things like this and having these discussions.
yeah.
Oh man, I didn't even read the bottom of that. But okay, I'm going back to it because I got to highlight this. I got to zoom in on it to highlight it because this is gonna.
There
blow your
is
mind.
the long-term goal. Yes.
Yeah, the long-term goal. We are zooming in so that everyone can read this online because this is freaking awesome. That should be when we said long-term. That should be like 5 years from now. That should be the goal
Mm-hmm.
within 5
yeah,
years.
It's
That
gonna take
1 gigabit and 500 megabit up.
That's insane.
Which just recognize that's where they're going to put the struggle on cable companies.
Yep.
Because cable companies are going to have to start allocating. Basically, most cable companies, the way if you look at it, if you look at the DOCSIS standards, they have more upload capacity, but to save in the frequency offerings that they don't push as much upload. Because the less they have to take back in through their data center, the cheaper they can be, right? If all they're really paying for from a data center perspective on their end is to push something to the customer, and then their technical download, I move my air quotes so they're in the screen, download constraints for the customer are lower. Well, I mean, come on, isn't that what you want to do? I'd almost always think that's kind of a goal, but that alone is pretty awesome. So that excites me. That's really going to be a big hit. And where was it?
Think it'll happen over the next 5 years?
Oh, I would hope.
Yeah.
I'd hope it happens faster than that.
Oh. It did take him 9 years for.
There's some other cool things in the if you go down, well, just a little bit in the other evaluations by the FCC. There's some cool little tidbits.
All right. Let's see what we got. Fixed terrestrial broadband service, excluding satellite, has not been physically deployed. Oh, yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That is crazy, the benchmark. And like I said, I mean, I'm seeing that on my 5G mobile broadband at home. I'm seeing the standard more than the standard, which is crazy.
Yep.
Now, granted, I'm in a smaller town, but in a university-based area. So I mean, I've got 5G towers, and I've got a bunch of 5G towers. Oh man, I just wait till you speed test it next week while everybody's on spring break.
Oh, it's gonna be glorious.
I will say this. My cell phone now, I'm seeing faster than gigabit down on my cell phone's link. And this is not on ultra wide, on that millimeter wave ultra wideband. This is on the capacity of the network that is truly just the regular 5G network. So that's kind of awesome. I'd love to see them deploy ultra wideband more, or not ultra wideband, the millimeter wave version of that in more places, but it just doesn't go as far. It can't get through Windows, all that happy jazz. That's just, that's something that as much as we'd love to see, probably won't for a while. And yes, for many casual users, 100 megabit per second should be plenty, and even 20 up should be plenty. I mean, that's just the facts of the matter. Matter of fact, you know what? I will jokingly tease this. I will do a speed test. I think it's worth it to just run a speed test and show you because I
On
know
your
we're
fixed line?
streaming.
Yep.
Yeah, we are streaming, so there is going to be some hits to that.
Sure.
The upload more likely than anything. I have a 17
Yep.
17 millisecond ping. I'm pulling 8 to 850 usually down on a gigabit plan. That's fine. 24, 22, not a lot of noise coming down. Then you go back up. I'm seeing 38 to 40, like I said. It's more than enough for 2 or 3 people to play Battlefield at one time here at the house.
What we do.
That's how we roll.
Out of control.
Tanks are us. I should make that my username in Battlefield. Tanks are us. That's about all. I love being in a tank. I love sniping in a tank.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, industry standard. But here's my point. This is a gigabit plan. All right. On a gigabit plan, you're seeing close to the top speed theoretical speeds. Great. On a non-gigabit plan, that 20 meg, like I said, the lower tier stuff, I mean, you're getting down to that 10 megabit per second range where that's good for one video gaming stream, maybe. Upload. That's about it. Not enough, in my opinion. Not enough. And fiber really needs to be deployed more. It's not hard to do anymore. It used to be. I'll agree. Sure, it used to be a pain in the butt to deploy fiber, but I think that's something. It's not that much of an ask to deploy more fiber these days. Just something that can be done with ease. What can I say? All right. Where was the other one that I was looking at? Gotta find it. Gotta find it.
Honestly, your upload was pretty rough. I mean, no, we're busy on it right now, but
It ain't perfect.
Right.
I know. I mean, that's a
for
lot
the
of
top
that.
end of what we get over here.
Oh yeah, but I mean, it's like I said, I'm also uploading a stream, which is
Actively.
probably pulling like 5 or 10 megabits up right
Right.
now. Yeah, Samsung's trying to beat Intel to having an actual lower node. Okay.
Did you see there was a news article that I saw Samsung's trying to beat Intel to glass substrate.
Say, we'll go back with that one.
Which
Yeah,
would
yep.
be super helpful to have that.
Well, glass substrates are. It's back to. I got that one right here too. It's back to trying to beat. Everybody's trying to beat everybody to a new process that will work as fast as possible. And you really have to get past copper and move to more silicon-based substrates as fast as you can. Intel's trying to get there just because with all their chiplet technologies, that once again, Intel with the chip with their tiles, call them what you want to call them. Intel wants to get to a process that is a little more. They're always trying to reduce latency in between die. That's the one penalty that AMD has been willing to accept for years, is that there's going to be a die-to-die latency penalty for memory. It's why in certain workflows outside of gaming, where you can just throw a bunch of cache at something, it's where certain workflows have just failed to offer any substantial benefit for them. they have better and better performing chiplets across the board in everything but certain memory intensive workloads. And it's why Intel continues to win in certain AI fields that are memory intensive. It's because the memory latency between die and die in the Infinity Fabric is absolute garbage. And so you can take 64 cores on an Intel platform and destroy 128 cores or 96 cores on an AMD platform because the memory latency of their tile to tile or chiplet to chiplet, however you want to put it, is all direct copper in the EMIB system. And that direct copper connection means that the mesh node is a much lower latency. There's still a latency penalty for being a mesh node as opposed to like ring bus, but it's a much lower penalty than the Infinity Fabric has ever been. And I'm AMD has been trying to read. I think after Zen 6, if I've seen like some notes things out there. I think after Zen 6, they have a new architectural kind of setup. It's still Zen, but it's where they're trying to actually reduce that memory latency by finding a new compute performance perspective. So that's kind of that next penalty piece. Let me go and see.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that it's nice that we're looking at new that material science and engineering is becoming more of a thing now. That it's getting harder to shrink the node. Like we went from 48 to no, like 40 something to 22, which
Yep.
is half. Went from 22 to 14. Pretty much half, almost half.
Yep.
14 to 7, that's half. 7 to 5, not half. Well, kind of ish. 5 to 3, like it's not. It's starting to flatten out. Then we're going from 20A to 18A.
And
It's
then the next
really
one after that's 14A.
yeah.
What people tend to forget about Moore's law though is that Moore's law dictated that it would be a doubling of transistors, not necessarily a halving of the node, but a doubling of transistors that you could put in every 2 years. Yes, we've hit that bottleneck and wall because of the physical limitations of printing. So you've got to find other ways to do it, obviously. It's just like the reports of everybody with them taking hyper-threading back out of the processors with Arrow Lake.
Mm-hmm.
People are like, well, that's going to suck on. That's going to mean that's going to half the number of threads. Well, if your threads are working at a more optimal rate, it doesn't really matter. I don't know if you saw the thing about SHMT. Simultaneous heterogeneous multi-threading. It's basically SMT on steroids because all it is it's basically a compiler that says, hey, I'm actually going to do things in parallel for once. I'm not going to do things. I'm going to be able to use the CPU in parallel rather than waiting for one logic to finish, then get the next one, then get the next. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That alone will. It's you're seeing a doubling of performance on chips of the same generation.
Mm.
It's like a 1.97 or 98% performance improvement. Almost 2x performance improvement by basically saying I'm just going to parallelize. I don't
know about that one.
Yeah, but basically I'm going to take that and make, instead of being a series process, I'm going to take it and put it in parallel and say that I can actually break this up. And I don't care when the CPU finishes this other block, I can reassemble it on the back end properly. I don't have to have it be in perfect logic order. I can reassemble it in logic order once I get all the pieces back together. And just doing things like that alone, we're able to, like I said, if the actual CPU is faster, the IPC is that much greater. I mean, they were saying that at base clock frequencies, the IPC was something like 200%, 250% of what the current generation was. So you were getting the same performance at 3 gigahertz that you're getting now at 5.5.
Wow,
I mean,
that's awesome.
which means that oh, by the way, what does that mean?
When you
Heck
go
of
to
a lot lower,
5.5.
heck of a lot lower energy usage.
Hmm. Oh yeah, I was seeing that newer Intel chips were gonna run much lower and colder, but have more performance.
It's because they're not going to have to boost as high to get more performance out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. If you're able to go and use 4 gigahertz on a modern chip, as opposed to having to use 6 gigahertz to get the same performance or better, or let's use their example, 5.5 gigahertz versus 3 gigahertz for the same amount of performance. Okay, I can probably tweak it and get 95, and that's a 65 watt chip part probably. Right now I can tweak it and get 95 watts out of it and go to 4 gigahertz or 4.5 gigahertz. And now all of a sudden that's boosting. And now all of a sudden my boosting clocks are way the heck lower. So I don't need near as much thermal constraint to work inside of it. It's a huge difference for us.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, you know this too, just like anything else, Chris, like most large Xeon chips. Take out the workstation variants, but most like normal scalable chips, 3 to 4 gigahertz top speed.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's all of a sudden the new bar, and we're using a lot less power to hit 3 to 4 gigahertz, and so instead of being a 350 watt TDP part to hit 4 gigahertz, we're a 225 watt TDP. I mean, just imagine the performance benefits of reducing your TDP and still hitting a higher performance target. Now, once again, yeah, you'll lose a little bit by losing the extra threads in multi-core performance. But if you're really and truly able to hit that, the multi-core performance will be there because your single-core performance is so much better. And I have to go back and remind the audience of the same thing that we talk about all the time, which is, oh, by the way, a synthetic benchmark is exactly that, a synthetic benchmark. You're not going to see that in the real world.
We did a podcast about that a while back.
Yep. Went in depth on how bad a benchmark can really be versus the actual real world performance. I think we did that back when I was doing it on the freaking Doctor when I had the 1090AXE still rocking and rolling.
Nice.
I mean, it's the processes have changed so much, man. Like the performance that Intel really squeezed a lot out of 14 nanometer, and 14 nanometer was really, really, really close to the performance of TSMC's. I want to say 10 nanometer. So with the performance being that close, you know how it is. You can't. You win some, you lose some, right? That being said, where was it that I was at on? Nope, go back. Oh yeah, that's the next thing. I'm still waiting to see it. I want to see the DIMMs. I'm ready for the DIMMs to come out.
We talk about the 64 gig
We're talking about
64
gigs. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I was talking to someone about that yesterday.
I mean, support's there on pretty much every motherboard platform now.
Yep.
Yeah, it's we might be buying it from somewhere else.
Just
Yeah.
a matter of time.
Damn it, Edge! Stop it.
Edge is always
Two
getting in
for
your
three.
way. I mean,
Nobody cares about you.
well, but I mean, the nice thing is though, now that we're to that point where we're able to say, hey, 64 gig unbuffered DIMMs, there are boards out there that now can actually have 128 gigs of memory that before couldn't. The ones that,
Those overclocking boards.
there's but the tiny boards too, man. Small form factor stuff.
True. The micro ATX, the mini ITX. Good point. Yeah.
Mini ITX boards only got 2 DIMM slots on them too a lot of the time.
Maybe this is a research. Maybe this means that we can do more mini ITX builds.
Mm.
Right. Look at the Nux versions too.
Uh,
Nux would be become a
So
whole new different thing.
so this is Asus. Well, the article
This
talking
one's
about
based on
Asus.
Asus, but we got Asus, MSI, and ASRock
Gigabyte.
ASRock that have already said they've announced support for it.
Nice.
That's four.
Four's good.
That's basically all of them.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's your big three.
That's
I mean,
big-
that's the
big-
big three. The big three are now in.
yeah, big three and ASRock.
And I was actually, oh my god,
Poopy on Azeroth.
somebody who took a 49 before the
What?
49 before the KS, somebody got a 1400K to 9.1 gigahertz.
Yep, saw that.
Oh my god, that
Yep,
scares
yep.
me.
Yep.
Here we are.
That was on one core, obviously. But
Yeah, but I mean, if they did that all core, I'd love to see how.
it melt.
Yeah, I'd love to know what they were diverting that heat and thermal to, so that they could actually fry the egg on it.
Bake a cookie.
Bacon cookies, you could bake it. You do that'd be. Talk about
Mm.
diverting that. We were talking about this earlier. There's a company out there that I was talking about this with some folks at work now. There's a company out there that makes solar panels for like not necessarily generating power so much. Then they do generate power, but they also take it and run it through a heat loop where they like help heat your hot water for your house. I mean, it doesn't bring it all the way up to the top temperature you want it to be, but it means that your hot water heater doesn't have to work as much to get the same heat
Nice.
for your shower and whatnot, which is kind of nice.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also people that use the same thing for like heating pools. Just to keep the pool temperature, in the mid 80s or so, something like that. Just keep the pool water temperature up to make it's like a heated pool year round, That was pretty cool. And then I was reminded of a thing where Linus Sebastian from Linus Tech Tips actually runs his server thermals. The water loop that he has it tied to is hooked to his pool. He helps to heat his pool off the server racks he has at his home.
That's insane.
That's a little bit ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean,
If you got it, you got it.
Mhm.
But I mean, damn, son. I feel like there's a better use of your hot water than. I think it's
cooking
funny
yourself
that.
in your pool.
Yeah, I mean, you're heating your pool. You're pulling the cold water off your pool
Mm-hmm.
to run it through and keep your CPU chips cooled. And I mean, hey.
I'm thinking about chocolate chip.
Yeah, chips would be.
Well, not chocolate chip, Bake a cookie.
Oh, a 3050. We
On that
finally have a
9.1.
3050.
Who
Low profile.
cares?
Hey, I was
Damn.
trying to be nice. Nobody does care though. Oh, this was cool. Okay, I saw this and I actually went and looked for it. You can't find it on Amazon yet. I am probably gonna buy one when they show up though. And I'm gonna tell you what. Hang on, I gotta go back to the display so you can see it. Where's it at? Because I carry it around in my pocket.
Oh, word.
And Chance doesn't know this because he just saw me pull it out of my pocket, but switching back to the display. I loved this thing.
You're never gonna give that up.
I loved this thing. I mean, for comparison, there's a USB drive. Yes, it's a lot bigger than a USB drive, but I have some
Sure.
USB drives that are pretty close to this size. I do.
But that's a whole. But that's a whole computer,
But
right?
that's literally, yes, it's literally a
Ah.
full-on Core M5 PC
Mm-hmm.
with an HDMI port on the end. I mean, it's got a 128 or 256. What micro SD card do I have here? It's got a 128 gig micro SD card. It had, I think, 64 gigs of eMMC RAM on it, or eMMC storage on it, and it had 8 gigs of RAM.
Not bad.
Wow.
It was designed and manufactured and made by Intel. I mean, it's an Intel compute stick. It was the standard. And I mean, you can even see it just had a little tiny fan on it.
That was back when. Wasn't that back when Intel was doing everything but actually making better processors?
It was
Or
when they were trying to put something out there that made sense for every market.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that was under Brian.
It was just before Pat came back and said,
Yeah.
"Stop this. We need to focus on our core business."
Yeah.
Intel doesn't need to make the computer. Intel
No.
needs to make the chip inside the computer.
But
Yeah.
I will say this, and I will make you laugh when I say this, but this Core M5 processor and this little machine, I played Civ 6 on all the time on the road.
it's pretty good.
It was friggin' awesome.
Yeah.
It was good enough to play that. I mean,
That's-
obviously it wasn't
like-
super fast, but it did the job.
What, low to mid or something like that settings?
I think like for 1080p, it did like mid settings.
It's
yeah.
not bad.
I mean the integrated graphics, and if you had like had 12th gen with like the ARC ARC stuff in there, which is what this fanless N100 has,
Mhm.
by the way, you're gonna get a decent little tiny form factor stick. I mean, it's not huge, it's not the big full size one, but it's plenty, and it's got good USB-C, and USB super speeds. I mean, a 256 gig onboard thing means you got plenty of storage room to put your OS and go from it. I thought it was freaking awesome. Matter of fact, I will show you when I go see it. Where is it? Right down here. And notice, it's LPDDR4X, not LPDDR5, but it's 4,200 mega transfers per second.
I'm gonna pull it up, bro.
Oh yeah, shoot! I gotta change the display. My
Nice.
bad.
It's like I'm like, cool, I can't see anything.
Glad I could help.
Glad you could help as well. Yes, it's a fanless design. It's probably 10 times faster. And oh, by the way, it's got a built-in Ethernet port. I call it like
Wow.
a compute card. Maybe it's a little more like a compute card. It's a
Hmm.
little thicker than a compute stick. It does have two display outs. Yes, it's only 4 cores and 4 threads. I will note this though. Notice it's got 3.4 gigahertz of base clock. Maybe that's boost clock. I don't know. Probably it's boost clock. It's got an 8
Probably.
watt TDP.
Yeah, it's probably boost.
The base clock on this thing, the boost clock was only 2 gigahertz on this thing, on the compute stick. The base clock was 0.9 gigahertz.
Wow.
It's probably got a
That's a
two,
long way.
that thing's probably got a 2 gigahertz base clock, and it too was only 4 cores and 4 threads.
Mm.
So a much better processor with 5 times. I mean, I could really play me some Civ 6 on that thing. 8 watt version of Civ 6. Because that's like I said, I'm not trying to play you. Like I said, when you take something like that, that's so that you can get on the internet in a freaking hotel room.
True.
You buy these things for $250 or $300 to be able to take them on the road, get in be in a hotel room, and be able to go and watch all your YouTube stuff without having to put your details into the stuff at the hotel or at an Airbnb, right? You don't want to have to share your login statistics at an Airbnb and do all that stuff. You want to be able to just go there and take it, plug this in, and you're done. Solves that problem. I don't remember if this thing even had dual band wireless. It might only have one. God, it's funny.
What, the 2.4?
And 5 gigahertz.
Oh,
I think
okay.
it might have 5
Yeah.
gigahertz. I don't know. I haven't hooked this thing up and plugged it in. If I plugged this thing in, it'd probably take 4 days to get the updates on the dang Windows. So it hadn't been turned on and used in so long. I need to try it out and just give it a test run. Got a TV over there I could do it with.
I guess I hope the only thing that really just comes with it is the expandable storage. Like how, I mean, what, 128 or 260 is pretty good, but
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
but it's also got a micro SD slot.
does it? Okay, cool. So it does have expandable.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
If you don't have it also these I'm trying to remember.
Yep. There you go.
It doesn't have an M.2 storage, but you do have a micro SD.
Perfect.
They actually, I was going to say, where is it on? They had a link to the Amazon version of it though. trying to find out where that link is, because here we go. Because they actually while they don't have this, they do have this. The slightly larger version of it. And Chris, I don't know if you can see that, but that price for the 512 gig 16 gig of RAM version is only $269. $270. And it has a full M.2 2280 slot available to it inside.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. It's only PCI Express 3.0, ladies and gentlemen, so don't get excited about it. But once again, it's also got a triple 4K display out option.
It's really good.
I mean,
How in the blazes are you going to be able to run 3 4K monitors with that?
2 HDMI, 1 DisplayPort USB-C.
Huh.
Nah. Not so sure about it.
No, I was just wow.
It does need a 36 watt power supply. And which, I mean, that's just about any power supply you find these days. That's nothing.
Sure.
Over the last generation, which was 11th gen processors, it's a 30% performance improvement. Going to the Alder Lake N100, it's over the Celeron N5905 or N5105. It's a 30% performance on an 8-watt CPU.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's kind of easy to forget how much of an improvement Alder Lake was over Comet Lake. Alder Lake was big.
See, I think when I think of 11th gen, I think of 11th gen.
Was it
Xeon stuff,
was it
which was
Rocket Lake or Comet? I don't
Rocket. It was Rocket Lake. It was Rocket Lake, because Rocket Lake was a backport to 14 nanometer of what was supposed to be on 10 nanometer.
It was the Mistake Lake.
Oh my God! It wasn't a mistake, Lake. It was a redheaded stepchild lake.
Yikes!
It was one that should have never had. It was it was the hole in the condom. It should not have existed.
I don't think we did any Rocket Lake, and I think we did one build on Comet Lake. Yeah, I don't think we did anything. We did one. We did one 10700K, and it ran hot as crap, compared to Ryzen, and we never did any 11th gen.
It was only around for like 9 months.
Yeah.
So why would you do anything on that?
And I think Skylake X was still around. Yeah.
Holy shnikes. They have a version of this that's a little bit larger. That's got 32 gigs of RAM. And Wi-Fi 6. That's not bad, dude.
Pretty wild.
That's pretty wild.
That seems excessive.
For a mini PC?
Yeah.
Yeah, 32 gigs of RAM for a mini PC, yeah, but it depends on what you're gonna do with it. This thing also gets Wi-Fi 6 on it too.
I mean, I guess it could replace all those optiplexes, those Xbox sized optiplexes.
I mean, and it's once again, this thing's got enough RAM to do the trick for, something. It's got enough. Like I said, this is
80% of people.
Yeah, it's got. Well, I was gonna say 16 gigs of RAM is enough RAM for the masses.
Yeah,
it's enough. It's more than 8 8 gigs. Windows 11 eats up freaking 8 gigs.
Yep.
I was cracking somebody up when I showed him this the other day. I'm going to show it to him today.
My dad.
I'm not doing a whole
Um,
hell of a lot right now. I have Streamlabs open. I have Teams open. I have a couple of Chrome tabs open. And I have Windows. And I'm using 32 gigs of RAM.
wow.
32. And to your point from earlier, we're burning 4 megabits per second up.
Oh.
Oh,
That's
Yeah,
not
my-
bad.
oh,
Yeah.
perfect use case for everyone that doesn't believe it. We're using Streamlabs right now, and Teams. Streamlabs is doing encoding. NVLink is actually working.
It's right.
It's actually sharing GPU load across the NVLink bus.
Oh. Interesting.
It's sharing the video encode load across the GPU. For those that needed to see it, wanted to see it happening in real time. It's sharing GPU RAM across the two.
Shared GPU. Well, dedicated GPU memory is 48. Shared GPU.
I've
How are
got
you
both
getting-
dedicated GPUs using 5 gigs of memory, basically.
But
It's sharing it across the bus. It's sharing the
How-
10 gigs across the bus.
how are we seeing a max of 256 gigs in a shared Move your mouse down. Yeah. So I understand the 47.5. I don't understand the 303 and 256.
The Engine 3D,
The 303 gigs. The 5 out of 303. Move your pointer down.
I see it. I see it.
Yeah, I
and
don't
then the
understand what that's talking about.
The shared GPU memory of 256.
Yeah.
Okay, simply put, add 48 to 256.
But where are we getting 256 from? Because you got 500 gigs of RAM.
It's letting it share. It's the bus is giving it 256 max allocation of that.
Of the 500.
Of the 512, it's saying
divided.
it can use up to 256 of it.
And
It's
then we
limiting
add
that.
48.
And then you add 48, which gets you technically to 44 or to 304, but because it's rounding it down because of the ECC capacity,
Mm.
it calls it
Mm.
303 to not round it up.
I'm
Yeah.
sad that I'm sad that the 96 gigs isn't added into the 256.
Yeah, I mean it's like I said, but once again, it's physically sharing the load here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I would
That's
remind
awesome.
people that all of my ports are plugged into only one card, so you should know that that's how you know it's sharing the load.
Mm-hmm.
Wild. My dad, his work laptop, he does logistics for shipping, so he's got a whole bunch of tabs up in Edge, and his laptop, I think it's either 8 gigs or 16 gigs, but he's woefully low on RAM and could really stand to have a tower with a video card because he could really use the 4th monitor.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. Let me see.
But yeah, that's a little aside.
Ray reconstruction, that looks as interesting.
8,000 RPM fan on a SSD.
Yeah. Scary about that one, isn't it?
Don't like that.
Tiny
900,000 core.
125
God.
petaflop
Flops.
wafer scale processor for AI. Tell you, man, AI is AI is AI.
Yeah.
Main Gear Zero Series. Interesting.
Oh yeah, what do you think about the new no cables boards, or the cables on the back?
Oh, those are nice. I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah,
they have a place in long-term usage because you're it's not you're running things through the board to get to power everything.
yeah.
It's a niche that will live on probably to the day we die from here on out. I will never buy one personally.
Because it's a very like the cables is not a big deal. Like, okay, so we see some power cables, whatever.
Someone
Mm.
taught Chat GPT to play Doom. I can just see the you remember the old thing I've heard where it's the old like prank video where they're pranking the older the woman that's playing with them like with her kids and it's the guys here to kick ass and chew bubble gum and I'm all out of gum. You see AI doing that now. Somebody convinces Chat GPT to piss somebody off by being an AI freaking troll. Oh golly. Yes, just fine. Okay. A mod inspired Mac SE memory subsystem. Apple's Mac Classic boosted on a 4 meg.
Boosted 2 4.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, the classic Macintosh. I see what we're saying. Larry, John, Steve, and Bruce. Unauthorized works of their generative AI training. That seems like something a bunch of people would sue over. I mean, because AI is going to put them out of work eventually.
Yep.
There's a whole lot of things.
I want to learn more about Blackwell.
We all want to learn more about Blackwell. I've been wondering when this was going to come back. I really and truly had been.
What?
A 512-bit
Oh,
bus
yeah.
for the 82
Yeah.
for the 200 series.
It'd be helpful. It'd be real helpful.
I mean, it's just a wider bus. Yes, it's a little more power, a little higher power draw. But guys, we're using freaking 600 watts on these things. Why can't we give ourselves a 512-bit bus over 384-bit?
Facts.
No reason we can't. None. None.
Wonder if they're gonna go from 24 to 32 gig.
Oh, so when you open the bus up, you have to. It have to be 32 gig. It'll be at a minimum. Somebody was talking about 36. I was like, maybe. I don't know
Not
why.
48.
I don't know why. Just go 32. No, because it actually. I'm making a bet here. Of completely out of the loop knowledge on what this would be, but if they're doing a 512-bit bus, expect the Ada or the Blackwell 6000 RTX 6000 enterprise card. It's gonna have 64 gigs of VRAM. Expect that.
That'd be sweet. I have no idea what I do with it.
No one does.
Nope.
So then, 128 gigs over NVLink. Oh.
It opens up your NVLink bandwidth to 128. I wouldn't be surprised if they came out with a card with 128 gigs of VRAM and charged $15,000 for it. I mean, they're already charging what 8 for the Ada, 48. I mean, clearly they got to be able to do something to charge more on the next gen.
What is the live pricing? 6,000 ADA.
Someone just responded that they loved Edge in chat.
Well,
Uh,
Somebody in
Okay.
chat put Edge with a bunch of X's and D's.
well,
let's see.
I don't know if it's declaring love for Edge. Just that Edge is
Or maybe that it needs to die.
yeah, probably that.
Edge just
Facts.
should go away. If Edge went away tomorrow,
Let's
I'd be a happy
see.
person.
Dell is charging 9,000. Is it eBay for 8? B&H is high at 10,000.
That's what I'm saying.
If you're in America and you're trying to buy an Ada 6000, I can beat all that. Just send me a message.
Nice.
I can help you.
Well, and I was going to say, I mean, they don't sell it on Newegg right now either.
No?
Nope, they don't sell the 86,000. They sell the 5,000.
Crazy. Wait, it's on PC Part Picker. I forgot about that. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, 'cause it's not on Newegg. Anyway,
So by Newegg. All right, sold by Newegg and sort by highest price. And what you'll see is that they have the Ada 5000, which is a 12 gig smaller card, but basically the same CUDA cores for $200 less plus an extra $100 off than the A6000.
mm-hmm.
But that's the best
Ooh.
card that they got. What
So the 5,000 is supposed to cost a little bit more than the A6000. Somebody's gouging that A6000.
That's Newegg's
Well-
price.
Oh. Well, I know.
So somebody at
it-
Newegg's gouging them then.
It A6000 is also been put on notice.
Well, yeah, it should be terminated. It's over 4 years. It'll be 4 years old here soon.
Yeah.
I mean, they're discontinuing the sale of it. That doesn't mean they're going to discontinue support of it. I mean,
True.
you can go buy you an AMD Radeon Pro W7900 triple wide card that doesn't make any lick of sense to be a triple wide card with 48 gigs of VRAM.
I really want to do a build with a Radeon card. I don't know why, but I just
I don't know why you do either.
I get bored, man.
You just want to try something new every now and then.
Yeah.
It is a triple wide card, though. What the hell would you put that in? I don't like that'd be like putting in the triple wide 4090. You know,
Yeah.
blocking all your PCI Express slots.
Yep.
I think the only reason I would do a Radeon card or two of them possibly is for day trading to get those 5th and 6th video boards. That's probably it.
Nice.
I could see that. Is that what that has?
I think so.
Triple slot.
It's triple slot, but does it have does it have 6 display outs? I can't remember what it does. I can go look it up this way.
Some of them did. No, That's 3. Dang, what was the Radeon that had 6 of them?
It might be the 7900. Hang on a second. I'm going to look at it.
UP.
Yeah, this one only has. Wow. It's got 4 because it's got 1 mini display out.
Hmm.
Maybe it's the.
It was a newer one. Well, it might not have been a brand new one, but they
It might
were
be the 7800 is what I was getting at.
yeah, they were minis.
No, not the 7800. Oh. Oh.
And it was
I
it was
know
a
what
blue
it is.
card.
I know what it is. It's the 6800.
Yeah, it was one gen older. It was blue.
Yeah, I know. I have it. 6 mini display ports. I have this card. I don't use it for diddly squat because it was garbage. It had some things that it was good at. AMD let
Yeah,
me
that
test
one.
it, and I put it through its paces, and it had some good. There was 6 display ports is freaking awesome for a lot of things. It really is, but that's about the best thing it was at. It did have 32 gigs of graphics RAM to be able to do that, which at the time the RTX 5000 did not have. So
True. This is true.
But they didn't even give you the 7900 or the 6900 XT's processor. They gave you a they didn't try to compete with the A6000, right?
Oh.
Which is what was disappointing. They tried to make it seem like it was competing with the 5000 series, but then the next gen 5000 series came out right after that and just kicked it out of the water because it took an A6000 chip basically and destroyed it with the same amount of VRAM. But all right, let's go into wrap up mode. So
Yeah.
We're actually going to have a rundown for the next episode, just in case you didn't know.
Promise.
Also, this was a fun way to compare these things too, because what was GCN while I'm thinking about it? GCN was the Vega. Remember the Vega cards from AMD? That was the
Yeah.
generation of, and then they had the 5700 XT was the first RDNA.
Yeah.
And then RDNA 2 was 179, was like 180% better. Well, it's just because they actually upped the CUDA core or the stream core counts and all that stuff to finally make it worthwhile and gave it a lot more die space. That's why it worked, ladies and gentlemen. That's why it was better, ladies and gentlemen. It had nothing to do with them actually being better. They just gave you more for once, finally. I say all that to say this. It was a nice little upgrade that they made. They got things along, and then they gave you something because back then AMD was known as the showboater for all the outputs.
Yep.
Which was kind of nice. They also didn't use the freaking weird new pinout design, and that still pisses me off. That the A6000 was the EPS 8 pin, and then we go to the Ada 6000, and it's the 12 pin that everybody hated, which it could have been solved and still used the freaking 8 pin because it doesn't draw 600 watts.
No. Even the 4090s that we test don't draw anywhere near that.
About 450 watts usually, right?
Lower than that, typically in Furmark.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It was VR ready.
Ooh.
What does that mean?
No fucking way. This thing could actually transcode to AV1 before NVIDIA. This card was the first AV1 transcoder. Oh. Decode support only. Sorry. No, wait. Encode too. Shit. This was literally the first AV1 encoding card. ARC was second then. This wasn't on the 79 the 6900 the 69 series for AMD either. The 6800 the W6800 was the first card to get AV1 encode support. Holy crap, Batman. That's actually impressive. Because literally the next card and the next card that you could buy as a consumer, because keep in mind, these were developed for Apple.
Yeah.
Because Apple wanted the Apple had the W7900. That was that card that went into the old Mac Pro, the last Mac Pro. The last Mac Pro, real Mac Pro. So damn. That's kind of cool. I didn't know that. I learned something. And that's the last fact we're going to talk about for today. I'm still waiting on somebody to want this damn compute stick, though, Chris.
Is that the second one?
Neural compute stick, too.
Nice.
I have two of them. I have two of them, and then if somebody wants one to play around with and figure out how to encode a way to do something cool for me, I'll give it to them.
What's cool to you?
Not you. I have another one if you want to play with it.
My heart.
Like I said, I have a whole nother one if you want to play with it. I'm not giving it away to you. Give you the other one. Figure out how to do something cool with it. You won't. I'd love you to, but you won't. No, I just want to find a way to like actually use this to do something with AI, and I don't really know how to. And I have not got the time to figure out how to encode or code this stuff. Chris doesn't want to do it either.
Nope.
But yeah, that's all I got. I mean, there's a lot of all kinds of cool stuff coming. I don't know. Maybe we'll do this again next weekend or the weekend after that. 2 weeks from now, though, we will be doing it again no matter what. They're 2.5 weeks, maybe 3 weeks from now. I know we will because it'll be the 1st in April. 3 weeks from now will be the 1st in April. So, and I've got nothing to hold me back from then. So, until then, we're not your typical IT guys. Please don't call us for IT support.
Nope.